Hey, Andrew here at Shot 2020 with Austin from Mantis. He's going to walk us through a few of the products that existed already, and you've got some new stuff this year. So maybe start off with where this company came from and what you did to begin with so it puts it in perspective.
Okay, perfect. So Mantis is all about helping you suck less at shooting.
We can all get behind that.
Right. So shooting is a very perishable skill, so we want data-driven solutions to help us fix our shooting. So we created these little magic gizmos, little doodads, as Jerry Mitchell calls them. This is an electronic, really a piece of wizardry that has all sorts of precision sensors in it that analyze your shooting. And what you do is you clip this onto the rail of any gun, pistol, rifle, and it analyzes the movement patterns of the gun before, during, and after every single shot and gives you real-time feedback on your shooting performance. So you can do dry fire with it, you can do live fire with it. We're going to show kind of what the core engine does briefly so you understand how the system works. Talk about a few of the capabilities that we've added in the last year. Okay? So this is it. This is just on a SIG P226 CO2 gun. What we're going to do is just take a couple shots to show you how the system works. At the core, it's tracking movement all the time. It's kind of like a black box recording. And when you actually take a shot, it saves and analyzes the data surrounding that shot. So you can see the movement before, during the trigger press, and then the recoil after the shot. The CO2 gun, it recoils downward. The shot broke up to the right of where my intended point of aim was. So this shot I pulled up to the right, and my score is an 81. We're scoring every single shot to help you know how good or bad that shot was. So I'm going to take a few more shots and see what happens. Good shots and bad shots. So 8 shots I took. You can see I took some intentional shots. I pulled that one. A good shot there, very tightly controlled. This thing is very, very sensitive. A 95.6. We want every single shot to look like that. So what we do is we analyze the shots individually, then we put them on top of each other and say, okay, what actually happened here in aggregate? So in this view, you can see I have a tendency, at least on this gun today, to pull up. So it's happening on anything in that window. We'll explain what can cause that movement pattern and then how to correct it. So you look at it from a perspective of I'm getting analytics, diagnostics, and real-time coaching and feedback on my shooting performance. So this connects to the app. It's a free app for Android and iOS, and you put it on any gun, do dry fire practice with it, live fire practice with it, and roll like crazy. So that's the core of how Mantis works.
So you go to the range with your real SIG or Glock or whatever.
Yes.
Do your pew-pews like you normally would, but instead of just poking holes in paper, we're getting a ton of empirical data about what you were doing, when you were doing it, how it worked.
Exactly right. Because the question is, why did I miss?
Yeah.
Right? Was it my sights? Was it my
because
mechanics?
You suck
ammo?
less.
Was it the barrel? Was it whatever? All sorts of excuses. This isolates and says, you as a shooter, which is the biggest element, is how good or bad were you as a shooter? And this analyzes that and gives you real-time feedback on how to improve.
Similar to that, those diagnostic targets where it's kind of like reading tea leaves because it's wrong. The whole, well, if the shot's over here, it's because you're pressing the trigger with the wrong part. No, there's a lot of different reasons that it could be.
Right.
My favorite of those is the one where all the ones around it say, you suck, you suck, you suck. The center, keep doing that.
You did it right?
Keep doing that.
Now here's the funny thing, is because what people have learned is they say, hey, I got a bad shooting mechanic. I have a tendency to pull left or pull low left. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to aim high right? And then, I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah, that's great.
Now what's going to happen is Mantis is going to tell you, you suck. Because it's going to tell you, you know what, you're pulling low left. It's going to really peel back the layers of onion to tell you what's really going on.
Yeah.
So it's a data-driven tool to help you in your training and in your shooter performance. Now, that functionality has been around for several years. Last year we launched a few new models, including the X10. This is our premier model, flagship models, that adds a ton of other functionality to really enable that next level of advanced shooter training. So we have a recoil meter in there. So all of a sudden you can analyze how my grip, my stance, the gun, the muzzle brake, whatever, affects the recoil and the recoil control on that particular firearm. Gives you muzzle flip, recovery time, and a bunch of other metrics there. You can also analyze your holster draw. So drawing from a holster typically is a buzzer to the shot. How fast was I? The end. What we did is, because we have motion sensors in here, we broke it down into 5 different phases. How long did it take me from the buzzer to actually grip the gun? How long until I got it out of the holster? How long until I got it presented? How long until I got it on target? How long until I took the shot? So all of a sudden, it's like, wow, I can isolate which is my weakest part, and I can drill that like crazy until it's fixed and consistent, and then I move on to the next phase and just optimize the holster draw and make that as efficient as possible. There's also some dynamic shooting stuff in there, like shooting on the move, rapid fire, and multiple target stuff. We keep adding drills and courses and all that stuff, and all those are free updates to the app itself. So that's all in the X10. A
Awesome.
few other models, dry fire only. The X2, we just launched that for $100. The X10 is $250. We got some stuff in between. Anyway, any level of shooter, our goal is to help them suck less with data-driven empirical feedback.
Are these all available right now?
They're all available right now.
Awesome. Where would we go to find out more?
Our website, mantisx.com, or just Google it, Mantis X, whatever, model number, and you'll be able to find more information about it.
Let's talk about this guy, because this is something that I've been saying in like forums and whatnot for years that I wish existed, because I figured it'd be a fairly, I don't want to say simple, but fairly straightforward product to do.
Right.
You got a power source, you said it's not a solenoid, but there's an electronic device in here that cocks the hammer every time it hits it, right?
Right.
So
the premise behind this product is that A, dry fire works.
yes.
B, dry fire sucks. And why does it suck? Because you're racking the slide between every single shot, or you're charging the handle. Yeah, so you're breaking position, getting back in position.
Every time.
It's useful, but a pain.
But I'm also training to cycle the charging handle every time I took one shot, which isn't the best.
Right.
Some people call that a training scar.
Exactly.
You know,
Right.
That's not the best habit to start forming. If we can press the trigger more than one time, then we can do more intentional dry fire practice.
Exactly. So we sat down, we said, you know what? We love our ARs. We want to get better on them. We want to make the dry fire experience much, much better. So we created Blackbeard, which is these two pieces here. So this is the magazine replacement. This is a battery pack. And this is the bolt replacement that you slide in. So it's two pieces. That's it. So he's doing it, popping the pin, dropping in the magazine. And you can pull the bolt out here. You just slides in and out. No problem. Close it up. Put that pin in.
I still want to.
Yeah, you don't have to charge it. That's one thing you get used to. Pins in, ready to fire, and it cycles it. So instantaneously, you get that exact break, exact reset, like you're on your actual. It is your actual AR. It's your trigger. There's nothing modified about it. As soon as that hammer hits, it cycles it back. You can take 10 shots a second. Go as fast as you want to. Do bill drills. Do all sorts of dynamic shooting, or focus on core marksmanship.
Now I can't get it out anymore.
Fat finger.
There we go. So it's easy to gloss over. It's probably difficult for these folks to see that this isn't a proprietary upper and lower or any of that. This is a
mil
standard.
spec.
Well, it's not a. This is a match trigger, but it's.
Wait, sorry. The AR itself is mil-spec AR,
yes.
right? That's a match trigger.
It'll work with whoever's trigger.
As long as it's a mil-spec AR, you're good.
You drop it in your rifle with your fire control group. It's not some special fire control group. All this thing is doing is cocking that hammer every time it drops.
Right. And it like you said, it's a simple concept, very hard to execute, particularly at the speeds we're going at.
And I say all, but it's also firing a laser.
Oh yeah, there's a laser too. So you know point of impact, you can adjust windage elevation, red, green, infrared, you're good to go. The battery pack, it's rechargeable battery. One battery pack on a full charge only lasts about 100,000 shots.
Only?
Yeah, so you might have to charge it up like once or twice a month. So.
Nice.
And that's the magic behind Blackbeard. Now, people ask, will it work with Mantis? Yes. You put Mantis on the rail, it gives you the same diagnostic feedback that it gives you in the app, but it's a separate system for dry fire reset control.
That's huge. All of the top competitors in any discipline spend much more time dry firing than they do live firing. People who have ammo sponsorships, people who have literally pallets of free ammo spend more time dry firing than they do shooting, because repetition is what gets it. And no matter who you are, it's easier to dry fire than it is to get out to the range and do the pew-pews.
Yep, exactly right.
Well, I appreciate your time.
My pleasure, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for putting up with my garbage. I do have one question though.
Okay.
Does it take Glock mags?
What we found, the best use for Glock mags is as a target. So put them down there and pew 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 at the Glock mags and you're good to go. So yes, it is compatible with Glock mags.
Throwing some shade, all right. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to be at a lot of booths. Stay tuned. I love you.